Welcome to Unbroken with Janee. This is the show where we bravely and boldly work to change ourselves and the world around us to make it a better place. I am so excited for today's show. We are talking about being brave. And because we are filming in Texas right now, I thought it would be appropriate to start with a joke. What do you call a scared ranch animal? A coward. Yes, I know it is awful. Galen, one of our producers, is probably ready to shoot me right about now. Galen, we are unscripted.
I'm here for the pun, so I think you nailed it because coward is appropriate for,
I thought maybe you were going to tell me to move over. Oh, too much? Okay.
No, I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
Galen, what is the bravest thing you've ever done?
Probably allowing you to point the camera at me today.
I polled our community on some brave things that they have done, and we got some really awesome answers. I heard things like a single mom of two who went back to school to get her master's. I think that's awesome. Another woman shared that she left a husband after she found out that he was unfaithful to her. That's a brave decision. And then somebody else wrote in that she had taken off a week to go to rehab so that she could take care of her mental health, so she could be better for her husband and 3 kids. Can we give those stories a round of applause?
That's amazing, Jay.
It really is amazing. And I appreciate that these people who posted were willing to be brave online. That is not fun to do. And especially when you can be ridiculed and all those kinds of things. I have to say that I used to think that my bravest moment was skydiving. I hate heights, like literally even thinking about them right now is making me super nervous. And so years ago, another producer thought it would be funny to send me skydiving. I don't really know what's funny about that, but I'm still here.
So of heights, so that nails it. Like your face right now, even thinking about it. And the heights.
And if you don't make it, then that's it. I mean, wah, wah, right? But as I look back, I think my braver moment was probably at 33. 33, I left corporate America. I had been at Southwest Airlines, and then I was doing consulting. And at 33, I decided to be an entrepreneur. And as much as I thought that was a brave move, I think the braver move was when I decided to actually address my own mental health and take care of some of my stuff. So I got to tell you that it takes courage and bravery to change. And so if you are going through any changes, small change, big changes, it doesn't matter. That is bravery. Let's give you a round of applause. Today on the show, we have some brave women. We've got a young gal who is not doing the normal things that you might see girls in high school do. We also have an entrepreneur who sees things differently. Stay with us. Welcome back to Unbroken with Janee. While some of us see mess, someone else may see an opportunity, and that is the case with our next guest. Help me welcome Melanie with Blind Eye Designs. Welcome. We are so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm noticing this beautiful jacket that you have on in these jackets behind you. Tell us about Blind Eye Designs.
Well, I've loved tie-dyeing ever since I was little, but luckily, my husband and my daughter both are incredibly messy people. And when I say incredibly messy, I mean they have skills where they will end up with food on the back of their clothing.
All right, so that is skill.
Yes. So starting probably 10 years ago, every 6 months or so, I would just gather clothes around the house and dye them simply to avoid having to throw them out or donate them. And I was watching, I think, something on TikTok, and I noticed somebody creating a spiral shirt using a fork. I decided to try out a couple of things, and I thought they looked pretty good. Like I tell my husband, now looking back, I just think, oh, that was not that great. But I stepped out of my box, and without it, then I wouldn't be here with the things I've created now.
That's awesome. And you mentioned stepping out of your box. What was the scariest thing for you in starting your own business?
Probably rejection or the fear of failing. I know like a lot of people, I would rather just not do it than risk not doing well. And it was just something I still definitely suffer from imposter syndrome. When people compliment things, sometimes I don't see it, or I definitely doubt it. Even occasionally somebody will buy something and I'm like, are you sure? So,
well, and even today, as we were preparing for the show, somebody said, is this your line? And ladies were already wanting to buy some. And you were like, yes.
Yeah.
So it does take some getting used to. I once heard that many women are not afraid of failure. They're actually afraid of success. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that for me, it's that obtaining success and keeping it there. Because I always have that doubt, of course, but it's my fear of falling from success and not so much letting myself down, but it's that fear of letting others down. My husband and my family are so supportive, and they keep pushing me. And then I have that, oh gosh, well, what if this doesn't, make it? What if I do horrible? And in fact, probably also every 6 months, I'm like, that's it. I quit. Forget it. Let's donate everything. And my husband,
we always do that.
And then my husband will say, do you want me to take this bag? I'm like, no, let me go back through it because I don't really want to donate everything.
What I think is super interesting about Melanie is that she sees differently, in that you are actually legally blind.
Yes.
So how do you do this legally blind?
Well, luckily, as you can tell, there's not a lot of need for precision and detail. So I pretty much can, have free reign as far as what I can do. The parts that are somewhat difficult are as far as getting my stuff out there, which means, of course, currently I just do a lot of pop-up markets and events. And I usually have someone to drive me. I do have the capability to drive very close distances and during the day. So those are the little things. Or because of the eye disease I have, I'm not able to see fine detail. So reading and things like that. So any small print and even what someone consider a reasonable size print, I can't see. I have a lot of magnifiers and different things like that. So it's not just the making of everything, but it's even with the dye I use, I have to put the colors on top and then do larger labels so I can read, because who knows what I would end up with otherwise.
It sounds like you have really learned how to adapt with your disease. When did the disease start?
I began seeing signs when I was about 16, but I was always the class clown and always drawing attention to myself. So when I started to tell people, I think I'm having problems seeing, I would go to the eye doctor and it was like, no, you're fine. Right before, probably a month or two before my high school graduation, I went to my optometrist and he said, I see a spot in the back of your eye. I want to send you to a retina specialist to take a look at that. And the first doctor I saw, his bedside manner clearly failed. He said, yeah, you have Stargardt's disease. There's nothing we can do. You'll pretty much be blind by the time you're 24, but take these vitamins and we'll see you in a year. Wow. And so it was definitely, I want to say it was a shock, but it was so abrupt and his approach was just unbelievable. So I think there was that part of me, that stubbornness, that I was like, absolutely not. I don't like that answer. And we got a second opinion. I still have the same retina specialist, and they let me know that it is Stargardt's. It's a rare genetic disease. It affects about 1 in every 8 to 10,000 people. And I lose my central vision, which again is fine detail, depth perception. I'm very lucky in the sense that my vision is dropped at such a slow rate that I'm able to function using my peripheral vision better than many people. I do a lot with my peripheral vision where I can even play darts and do things like that if I look this way and throw things that way. So
fast. I can't play darts and I have 20/20 vision. So that's really impressive. Blind Eye Designs, that's the name of your company. And you shared with me prior to the show that you were a little hesitant to even call it Blind Eye Production or Designs. Why is that?
Well, for me, the biggest thing that I would guess it would be a fear is there's a certain sometimes look or this vibe that people may get and give off. When I tell them that I'm legally blind, it's just this automatic, I'm so sorry to hear that. Or it's a sympathy or they're feeling sorry for me. And that, I can't stand that. It's a very uncomfortable feeling for me. And I'm trying to do better about embracing that and telling my story in a positive way to avoid people having that. Because I look at it in a way that I'm lucky compared to a lot of other people where my vision is taken, it took about 10 years before I actually became legally blind. And there's some people that will drop their vision from 20/20 bottom of the eye chart to 2200, which is where I am in a matter of months. And, it's just something that, as I say, I don't whine and complain about it. I whine and complain about many other things, but not that.
You are normal. So good to know.
But yeah, it's that very uncomfortable feeling of people treating me like a victim. I don't like that at all.
Well, I don't think I hear anything victim about you. Would you all agree? I mean, thank you. I think the thing I can take away from you, one of the many things, Melanie, is that it doesn't matter really what disability, what limitations we have. We can find a niche that makes a way for us. And so if you are someone out there and you have your own limitations and maybe you're a little fearful of taking that first step, I would encourage you, take the first step. Let's be like Melanie. Let's turn our mess into really a beautiful message and beautiful products. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to talk with our comfortably uncomfortable question of the day. Welcome back. This is the exciting part of the show where we do a question that none of our panelists know about. It's designed to make you go, Today on our panel, we've got three fantastic ladies. Of course, you all already heard from Melanie. In the middle, we have Piper. She is 15. And she is a wrestler. I mean, imagine looking this beautiful and she's a wrestler. Yes, give her a round. That's right. And then on the end, we have Jacquine. Jacquine is an artist, a pastor, and a city council member. Whoa. The question of the day is, what keeps us from being true to ourselves? Who wants to start? Jacquine.
I think I've got a couple of thoughts on this one because I went through it myself. Really, for me, what keeps us from really, I would call it living in our purpose, is letting other people try to tell you what they think is, what they think success is. And you can't be your true self when you're taking in so much from other people. You kind of have to look inward and see what makes me feel good. And without that, you're really going to find yourself floundering, being in the box, doing what other people expect of you versus living your true purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to say that when people should on us, SHOULD, you should do that. And it is what it sounds like. I didn't cuss on camera. Piper, how about you? What keeps us from being our true selves?
Well, kind of what you said, but it's just whenever people tell you what they think and how they think you should do things, it's really hard not to be like, oh, yeah, I should totally do that. They are very smart people, especially if the people we look up to. But it's we should do what we say or what we think makes us feel better, and what God says we should do, and what God says is going to be best for us and built and is going to be best for his kingdom and that.
Wow. Piper. And Piper, you got into wrestling. How did you get into wrestling?
To be honest, I don't know really how I got it, like what made me want to. I was just in 6th grade and I just told my dad, I was like, I think I wanna wrestle. And he's like, well, that came out of nowhere. Our sparkly little princess wants to wrestle, but all right. And I joined, and it's just been one of my favorite things.
Do you ever get made fun of?
No, people are scared of me sometimes.
I love it.
No,
Love it.
but I have been told by a couple different people a couple different times that they don't think girls should wrestle, which is weird, a weird thought. Like I feel like you should want girls to try to be safe and learn how to defend themselves and learn how to beat up boys. I think that's the best way to.
Yes. That's awesome. I love it. Maybe you could show us a move.
No, I'm going to dress.
Okay.
I don't want to flash anyone. I don't want to do that.
Melanie, I think you referenced even this a little bit earlier, but what do you think keeps us from being our true selves?
It's actually funny. As I was listening to them, I had someone tell me once, because I always idolized my mom. When I was younger, it wasn't I can't wait for my wedding. It was I was ready to get to corporate America and I wanted to be like my mom. And I had someone tell me once that you're never going to be on that pedestal. So you look up to someone and you want to make them happy. You want to show them what you can do and be like them. But because you have people so high up on a pedestal, you're never able to reach that, which makes you more critical of yourself. And so you focus so much on trying to do this in a sense for someone else that you don't do what makes you happy, because you want to keep others happy, and it's not even just keeping them happy as much as you want to impress them or make them proud, that you sometimes forget about yourself.
Yeah. Great perspective. And Jacquine, I'm guessing that some of that may resonate with you in your story.
Absolutely. Being an artist, that's not necessarily the career that parents want to send their kids into. I talk to young people, high schoolers, middle schoolers, about creative career paths. And, I've heard from some of the older students that their parents had said, if you want to go pursue any of that creative stuff, I'm not paying for college. So similarly, when you're told a certain career path is less valuable, it kind of creates in you, you're either going to go the way someone else is telling you or do what's true to yourself. I went to law school first, and that was still in me. So it comes out. But the thing is, if you embrace it earlier, like what you're doing, rather than waiting so long, you can get further faster. So it would have been great had I realized in 6th grade, that this is what I'm going to do. But it's never too late to step out, even if you kind of took a detour.
It's never too late to be the person that you were called to be. And we're actually going to give you some tools to do that for everyone in our studio audience today. We are going to give you a brand new course hot off the press called Don't Dream It, Do It. And you are going to love it. And in typical Unbroken fashion, if you get something, what do you have to do? Give it. So for everyone that is getting that, you are going to give it. We'll be right back to wrap up the show. Round of applause for these brave ladies. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I believe we all heard some great ladies tell us that it's never too late to be the person you were called to be. Doesn't matter if people don't agree with it. Don't let them should on you. We can follow the advice of Piper, actually learn some self-defense maybe so we can beat the boys up. And not to let those, whether it's physical limitations or maybe monetary limitations, keep you from doing the things you love. And we believe that truly you can pursue your passion and make profit. And we love to help women do that. She doesn't know that we are going to do this, but today Melanie, we know that you have invested a ton in your business. And we know that you want to grow it to the next level and you could use a little bit of help. And so we are going to gift you 30 hours of brand building, all of that success coaching that you need to get to the next level and kind of help you get in some stores.
Thank you so much.
But then if we're going to give that to you, what do you have to do? Go give that to someone else. So that's what we do here on Unbroken. We give, we get, and it comes full circle. Today, we've talked about being brave. And this entire platform is based on mentorship, women, people helping others. And we've got a very brave, young 11-year-old who is going to close us out with a song that really speaks to what we're about. Please welcome Madi Pense. Madi is 11 years old, and she has come to our leadership camp that I do. And it is so fun to watch her grow. I have thrown her, kind of put her on the spot several times to sing. And today she is going to sing a song that me and another girl co-wrote for this show.
Even you, even when you cannot see what I can see, I believe in you to be all you can be. But by your side, I'm helping you things. A friend, a guide, help your side, a mentor in the wings. A friend, a guide, help by your side, a mentor in the wings. A mentor